Hello again and welcome back to another episode of JDM Escape. So today we are on to the Mitsubishi FTO once again. Now if you've not seen our previous videos, this was a barn find that I got in January of this year. Took a little bit of time, put it all back together, put it right, put it through an MOT, got it on the road, and most recently did the wheels and the suspension on the front. Now next thing is to do the wheels, the suspension on the rear, but I can't do that yet because the rear tyres are far too wide. So, out of the wheels that we took off the Subaru in the last episode, we're going to use two of those tyres, put them on the back of this, help it sit a little bit better, and then lower the rear end as well so it'll even out. As I said before, we've also got a stereo to put in it and spigot rings on the wheels while they're off because we still need to pull the fronts off. They still don't fit quite right, so put the spigot rings on. But while we're there, there's just plastics in the arches that are catching the tyres, and obviously it's one of those things you don't realise it until you drive it. So that's when I found that out. I've also got LED bulbs to go in the headlights in this, just because the only reason I did it is because it's got like projector lights, as I assume factory. So these will sit quite nicely in those projector lights and give the right beam pattern. So let's get all that done. Let's see how far we can get. There may be a couple of little bits and pieces to do as we go through it, but let's get started. Let's get it up in the air, get the rear wheels off, and get those tyres changed. So if I show you what I mean by these tyres, those, even though the treads are not good on this one, I'll show you for example, it's not this one we're going to be using. If you look at the width of that, the 255 is obviously much wider, but the profile of how it sits on the wheel isn't right either. So what my plan is to put those 225s onto there, and obviously that side, and do that, and then the back end should sit nice just like the front does. And then what we can do is just lower the back end of the suspension down just like we did the front, and just kind of get a feel for it and start to average it out, and then it'll make it look, I'm hoping, a heck of a lot better than it does right now. So let's do that. Let's go and get these tyres swapped, get into it, and see how much we can get done. Okay, so that's the rear tyre swapped over. It's now got 225s on the back, not 255s, so it's not stupidly wide anymore. What we're going to do now is just sort out the rear suspension, put the wheels back on, drop it down, see how it sits, and go from there. Wish me luck. So that's the rear end back together, rear wheels on, suspension sorted. Let's just move some tools, see what we're going to crush, and send the ramp down and see how it looks. Still got to do the front end yet. Something is catching somewhere. I suspect it's probably that. Let's send it down and see how the back looks first, then we'll go back up. Looks better, but in my book that's still high compared to the front. I don't know, maybe it'll settle a little bit, but that's still kind of tall. Maybe it'll settle. We'll see. So these are the LED bulbs that I've got for the FTO. And that is basically all it is. It's basically just a bulb with a little fan on the back to keep it cool. Plug straight in. So I'm hoping it'll be quite straightforward to install. So let's go see how that theory works out, shall we? I might need some... Oh no, wait, we can pretty much get that one. So all that is that's the wiring plug I've just taken off. One little thing, move that out of the way. And that's the old bulb out. It's as easy as that. So I'm hoping that the new one will be just as easy to install. And all you do is line it up there she goes. Line it up, turn it. I think these bulbs HB4 or something like that, and they only fit like one way, I believe. Then all it is a case of connecting the wiring plug. Now, LEDs only work one way with polarity normally. So whether this plug fits both ways, I don't know, but I'll plug that in and we'll try them and see what happens. Okay, so it turns out that the first time I did it, it was the other way around. So all you do is take the plug off, turn it around, and plug it back in. Now, if that will just clip home, yep, that's on. And now we can go test it. If we turn this torch off, and what we'll do is we'll turn the garage front light off. Now the problem is, I kind of ordered quite blue ones, so let me show you what I mean. I'm not entirely sure how great they're gonna be on the road. Yes, it is as colourful in real life as it looks on camera. So this might be one of those kind of trial and error ideas. Yeah, that's more blue than I thought. But let's do the other one, just the same, and let's see what happens. There we go, so that's both headlights in. They are very blue, they are. Don't know how long they'll stay in for, but for now they kind of look cool, I kind of like them. Let's move on, let's get stereo done. Okay, so this is how we need to do the stereo on this particular car. Now, this has been floating around in the car for quite some time, and that, I assume, is the other bracket for that side. Now, to do that on this car, what you normally do is put the cage in, which is there, which we're not going to use on this. And all we're going to do is mount it to this little bracket, screw that to the side on there, screw the other side in, and then this just mounts into the car, which I'm not sure how that one works yet, because it seems to be missing the little bracket, but we'll put it together and we'll figure it out. Okay, so I've just done a little bit more digging around the parts pile. I've put this little bracket on there, but it turns out that this one that bolts to the actual car, that's missing on that side, so I can't really use this. But what I have just found in a little pile of Mitsubishi FTO parts is this. So that essentially uses the same point on there, mounts straight into the car. I think these have just been floating around in the car, but I think those I got when I got the seats and the interior and all the stuff. So we'll swap it all over and we'll use those ones instead of those. Try and get it in there. So I've put the little groundies now in, which is just gone down there, which is nice. That's the wiring for the stereo, and that's the aerial cable. Let's plug those in. Try not to smash the car up first. Oh, the aerial cable could be a different fitment. Yes, it's a female. Right. So we've not got any radio yet. We don't need that. We don't need that yet. But we do need the Sony cable that goes between there and the stereo. So that's power, and that one's your speakers. I hope the speakers work in this car. If not, that's more work to do. All we do is plug that in there, and that should sit back into there where it lives. Just want to make sure it's sat properly. Let's try it at that. That's just a little bit lower on that side, I'm not sure why. Maybe it'll be okay. Get some screws attached to that, put the front back on. Let me go find some screws. So there we go, that's all in, and it should work, it should light up. There it goes. And I've taken the little front off this double din hole thing. So let's see if that, there we go, if that actually lines up a little bit. Oh, I might have to take the front back off to do this. Take that off, give me a bit more clearance. That open there. A little broken plastic bit. That sits nicely up there. Stereo frame. Stereo frame in. Oh, it's a little bit tight on the frame. That might not actually go in there. I'll have to come back to that. So if we get that in for now. There we go. I like that. Put this little thing back in there. Drinks holder. Not entirely sure how good that's going to be in front of the stereo. But we can try it. To be fair, I think it's also at the wrong angle. I think if you put anything there, it'll probably fall over. So anyway, we'll leave that for now. What I may actually do is just take it back out and just put that little thing back in. It kind of looked more at home than this does. So yeah, I may do that. But you know, for now, it's there. It's suited. It works. And it's red and blue as it turns out. But you know, that's Sony for you. That's why we love them. But for now, that is going to be it. So it was pretty good today. We managed to get the rear tyre swapped over, get the rear end sitting slightly further down. I'm hoping it's going to go a lot further down. And stereo's in. There's not just a big hole in the dashboard anymore, flashing away doing its thing. And the probably bad idea headlights are in. They're a little bit blue, if I'm honest. I don't know how long they'll be in for, but they was like £9 off eBay or something like that. So we'll give them a go. And that's it for now. So I think the next time we see you, we'll be on to this next week because it's Friday now. So it'll probably be beginning of next week we go on to the prelude. So there you go. If you like what you've seen, as always, hit the like button, comment, let us know what you think, and subscribe. Don't miss out on the next one. Thank you for watching.